Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another real quick episode of the Art of the Finish Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Rels. And make sure you guys, first of all, make sure you guys go like, follow, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, 2920 TV. Make sure you guys go follow it on the X page, which is 29 TV underscore network. Make sure you guys go follow the IG page. It is art underscore the underscore finish underscore wrestling. Just make sure you guys go follow like all of that. The real quick, I just want to touch on a couple of subjects. I'm not going to waste too much time, but I just wanted to give my opinion on two important things that happened in the world of professional wrestling today. The first one is ESPN secures WWE streaming rights deal. So it says ESPN has entered a 5-year agreement with WWE valued at $1.6 billion to exclusively stream WWE premium live events in the U.S. starting in 2026. Under the deal, events like WrestleMania will be available on ESPN's new direct-to-consumer service for $29.99 per month or $299.99 annually, with select events also simulcast on ESPN's linear TV networks. This arrangement replaces the WWE's previous streaming on Peacock. So at the end of the day, money talks. ESPN, Disney offered more money than Peacock, and now WWE's streaming deals will be on ESPN networks. And honestly, that's a big deal for WWE. Another big money deal secured. What does it do for fans in terms of pricing? I mean, their events are already expensive. People complain, but at the same time, people are still going. So what can you really do about it? People are going to complain, but if you're going to still go, what can you do? But once I said, at the end of the day, this only helps out WWE and TKO. This deal helps them out immensely because that's just more money, more profit to be made. WWE is the number one in sports entertainment and number one in professional wrestling, especially when it comes to getting these big billion-dollar deals. Can't nobody really touch them on that. I mean, professional wrestling is thriving right now. TNA is doing well, AEW is doing well, but the standard bearer at this point will and for always forever be WWE. Can't really argue with that. I mean, personal opinions aside of what you think about WWE, business-wise, they're at the top of the food chain. They're doing whatever they need to do to secure these billion-dollar deals, whether we think the product is good or not. They're still doing what they need to do to secure these deals. And obviously, these companies think they're pretty good at it because they keep paying them these big money deals. So congratulations to WWE, honestly. Congratulations to professional wrestling as a whole, because stuff like this sets the bar for bigger deals to be made within other companies. With TNA working with WWE, there's only a matter of time before I probably feel like at some point WWE is going to help TNA get on a network. They're going to help AAA get on a network, considering that they own AAA now. So there's going to be a lot of wrestling to consume in 2026 and going forward. Whether that hurts companies like AEW is yet to be seen, because realistically speaking, AEW is on the outside of the fence, watching WWE partner with TNA, watching WWE own AAA. So WWE is going to do whatever they need to do to get these shows that they collaborate or own onto these networks. And that means more consumers watching wrestling, but that also means people can get tired of wrestling. It could be a point where it comes to be too much wrestling. And if that's the case, then AEW could hurt a lot. But I mean, if they keep putting out what they've been putting out, I think they'll be fine. I mean, they have their $1 million deals in place already, the TV streaming deals. So they're good. They're not going anywhere. I personally think they should try to find a way to put their pay-per-views monthly on Max, especially for people who already have the membership, who's already ordering. I mean, who's already watching like I do. Like I watch Dynamite and Collision on Max, and they just put all their pay-per-views from the beginning all the way up until 2024 on Max, which is great now because it's one easy place to find it, and you can watch, the wrestling that you love if you're a big AEW fan. So, like I said, congratulations to WWE, but in the landscape of it all helps out professional wrestling as a whole. So the second thing I wanted to talk about is this ongoing thing going on between right now with the Her Syndicate and AEW. So I got this off of Twitter, but it's from Wrestle Purist, but they got it from Fightful Select, so I don't know how true this is or not. So Fightful Select is usually not usually Fightful Select is pretty accurate in the stuff they put. So reported by Fightful Select allegedly is that the claim internally in AEW was that the Her Syndicate said no to pitches of losing the FTR at both AEW All In and Forbidden Door. Instead, MVP stated that the team preferred to lose the championships to younger teams. MVP's personal preferences were that the Gates of Agony, the Outrunners, and Private Party. It was noted that Her Syndicate has already beaten all three teams. The frustration from the locker room is that the team are heels that do cool moves, beat up everyone, and give fans fives on the way out. Okay, so my opinion, my honest opinion from the jump is the Her Syndicate should have never been heels to begin with. Um, it was apparent from day one that the fans wanted to cheer these guys. Even in WWE, the fans never wanted to boo Lashley. So having Lashley actually be presented as a legit superstar in AEW, the fans were going to cheer for them in the first place. And even if you wanted them as heels, you should have pivoted the minute the fans started chanting their theme song to the ring. That right there alone can garner enough fan reaction for the fans to pretty much cheer for you no matter what. I mean, to be fair too, Hurt Syndicate are gigantic individuals. Um, they remind me of a modern day Doom, and they just destroy teams. Like I don't think I honestly don't think having MJF with him helped. I don't really think it fit. Um, Not saying that bringing in Cedric Alexander probably would have been the best idea too, but the whole MJF Her Syndicate thing was a little weird to begin with. So, I mean, they made it work for what it was, but I don't really think it ever fit to begin with. Um, as far as MVP stating that they wanted to lose to a younger team, I get that part because I remember an interview when they first came in and they said that they're here to put over younger talent, but you can't do that when you already beat these teams you named, the Gates of Agony, the Outrunners, a Private Party. Okay, you beat Private Party, you beat the Outrunners. Maybe you should have built Gates of Agony up for a couple of months and let them be the team to beat you. But instead, you beat them already. So now us as fans are not going to take them serious when they fight you again. Um, I do not see it. I do have no problem with the fact that they didn't want to lose the FTR. And my only reason is that because in case of emergency, when things got tough at AEW, they always went back to Moxley. And that's cool because Moxley had a bunch of people to work with. But it seems like now, in case of emergency, when they want to reset the tag division, it goes either back to FTR or the Young Bucks. Um, FTR has been doing great, phenomenal work as heels since they turned on Copeland back in March. So do I think they deserve the tag team titles? Yes. Do I feel like maybe Hurt Syndicate should have dropped them to a different team first and then let FTR beat them? Yeah, I think it would have worked that way. Then you push the Hurt Syndicate to single stars. You give maybe Shelton a run with the TNT title. Maybe you give Lashley a run with the world title. Who knows? But it seems to me like the bigger issue here is not, and this is all speculation, by the way. I'm not saying it's true, but it seems like the biggest problem here is MVP talking for Benjamin and Lashley. Because all these reports are saying that, MVP is turning this down, he's turning that down. And I get it, but there's not too many options left after WWE. So it's like, what is your end game here? What is the point of holding on to these tag team titles? Like, you guys will be big without the belts. You don't even need the belts at this point. But it also says a thing to AEW's tag team division too, because instead of building up a team like Gates of Agony or even building up a team like the Outrunners for months and just let them get credible and let them win matches, you're still sticking with the same two teams in FTR and the Young Bucks. I know Buddy's hurt, but you could have built up the Hounds of Hell for months and let them be the ones to take it over, or Brody and anybody, honestly, Brody and Bandito, if that's the case. But or even at one point you could have had Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher take the titles off of them. But I hope this ain't true, because then it looks like a string of more WWE former signings that seem to feel like they're above AEW, and that's not how you build a company. If it is true, I would say best case scenario is try to get the belts off of them as quick as you can, and cut ties with them if they don't want to do business. I personally think Tony Khan should just have a meeting and just have a talent meeting and just ask wrestlers who wants to stay and who doesn't. You have enough that will probably want to stay and you can build your roster around, and you have enough that when they leave, let them go. Like, trust me, WWE only finds these wrestlers appealing when they start talking about how disgruntled they are in AEW when their contract is getting closer to end. Then WWE wants them. But then look, it doesn't really do much difference once they make it to WWE. It's only like, okay, we got them, shock value, but after that, what do you really do with them? And that's a big problem in itself too. So yeah, with the frustration of quote unquote frustration of talent being mad because they get beat up and they give fans high fives on the way out. Um, if you feel like you're getting beat up, I'm not gonna say do something about it, but try to tweak your character around. Look at Ricochet, for example. Ricochet was a babyface when he came in, and it was okay. But then look, he turned into a heel, and although it seems like he's kind of losing a little bit of steam right now, though, it just takes one thing for him to click and get heat and get hot right over again. So I don't know. In this situation, I just think as a fan seeing it and reading it, it sucks because you feel like AEW finally turning the corner with wrestlers that actually want to be there. And then you see this happen, and they're like, you feel like you're watching certain situations all over again from a fan's perspective. So my opinion is I hope that maybe they could turn this around, and maybe this is all just rumor, and I hope this is all rumor, but we'll see in a couple of weeks if, at All In, I mean, not All In, if you get to Forbidden Door and it's FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate and they don't win, FTR being, then maybe a lot of this is true. So we'll see how this goes. Another thing from Fightful Selector said of the numerous people on the AEW talent roster spoken to, they said that this year was the best they've seen the locker room in years, and that most of the roster just dismisses issues. Just because rosters dismiss issues don't mean they don't have issues. Sometimes maybe they just dismiss the issue because they just don't feel like it's a bigger deal. But guess what? Sometimes if those issues aren't addressed, then it becomes something much bigger, and then it ends up on these, I don't want to call them dirt sheets because I don't really like the word dirt sheets, but it ends up with, with credible sources like Fightful who will be reporting stuff like this. And then what happens, then you take these grifters who then turn it around and make it look like, oh, these guys don't want to lose to anybody. They don't really give a damn about none of this roster. So I'd say handle those issues head on, take those issues head on, and deal with those issues the best way you know how. So that way it doesn't get out to the, to these podcasters that can talk about the stuff that's going on. So, but yeah, that's just my quick opinion on the two subjects going on right now. Like I said, make sure you guys go like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give me some thumbs up. I can use all of that. That helps out. That keeps the podcast and that keeps the content growing more and more. So with that being said, take care, everybody. Enjoy watching Dynamite if you're hearing this, on Wednesday. If you're hearing this on Thursday, put in the comment section, what did you think about Dynamite, and what do you think about what I said on this podcast? Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.